Hi, and hope you know that Monday is one of the most stressful days of the week, and so is Friday. Because when people are leaving the week, they get kind of anxious and stressed out about what they're going to do on the weekend. Then the weekend's over, and then Monday rolls around, and there's anxiety going to work. Unless you have a job where you know that when you get there, things are not going to be all over the place and that you have a very well organized. I just want to talk to you a little bit about being organized. And that's the key. And also to the point is you're not going to be getting to the point of burnout. What I do is I'm a keynote speaker and I focus on topics that contain wellness, burnout, anxiety, and all those topics are very much interlaced with each other. Because if you are a person that is super busy corporate individual, and I work with a lot of corporate individuals. I have a couple that I work with, and they're work from home, but they have corporate jobs. Super busy, travel a lot. But I work out with them on a weekly basis so that they stay fit, stay healthy, avoid illness, and also burnout. As you see behind me, this is my new networking group that I focus on performers. And I also have a networking group for entrepreneurs and CEOs. But this group that I'm starting right behind me here is focusing on performers. The reason why I wanted to say that today is that performers can be anywhere from musicians to comedians to actors to voiceover people to actresses to people that are behind the scenes that you don't see on a regular basis that are performers. For instance, people on Zoom and also webinars and summits are giving keynote speeches. Those people haven't had a chance to really get back on stage, and now they are. Most of them are, some are not. I, for instance, haven't gotten back on a stage in about 2 years, and most of my speeches and my keynotes were done via Zoom or a different platform. And like I'm talking to you today on Zoom, I'm actually streaming right now from Restream to all different platforms. And I am very excited about the streaming process, but I'm also looking forward to meeting in person and going to different events, summits, seminars, conferences to speak about wellness, anti anxiety, corporate wellness, and also avoiding the burnout. There is one keynote that I am working on right now. And if you're interested in hearing more about it, but it's called Align Your Life. Learn to thrive, not just survive. And that's going to be coming soon. I'm going to be speaking to schools about that, speaking to corporate facilities about that, organizations, and also people that have busy lifestyles that really need to find what they're happy about doing in life and what your passion is. That is the key. There's many people out there that work jobs just to work for a paycheck, and we get stuck in all those. Believe me, I've been there, done that, and I'm making a lot of changes myself right now. And I'm looking forward to talking to you about those changes and how I can help you out. Because if you're at the point where you feel like your family is here, your work is here, and they're colliding and you don't have time for either of them, we definitely got to sit down and talk, because that's the key, is trying to find that balance. You got to align your life. And I do a keynote that I was speaking about earlier about aligning your life. And what we talk about is the 8 to 9 dimensions of wellness, depending on where you want to break that down. And I want to see what dimension of wellness you may be lacking so that we can work together and make those whole or have complete optimal well being. The key to that is to have a balance. And for instance, remember when you were a kid, or maybe even now, you had a car that was going down the road and it kept pulling to the left or it kept pulling to the right, and you had to counter steer in order for it to go straight. It's the same thing for a person. You may be getting pulled to the left or pulled to the right, and you have to counter steer going down that road. It's so important that you can figure out what is pulling you to the left, what is pulling you to the right, so that you can actually balance and pull yourself back to the center line, because you don't want to crash in life because of a issue. Like for instance, if you bring your car to a mechanic and it's all messed up, the alignment's all messed up, they realign it. It's about realigning your life. The key is trying to find out where you're at and then go from there. That's what I help my clients do. And the people that I help really, really understand where they're at. And then we go from there. A story about a client I had a while back. And he was a person that actually was super busy, and he was overwhelmed with corporate America. And then he realized that he needed to regroup, quit his job, and then he opened up his own business. And he opened up a food business that he loved. He opened a food truck. And he loved food and loved cooking for people. And that was his passion. Even though the job was going to be just as many hours, it was his passion, and he really, really enjoyed it. And I worked out with him. I trained with him. I did nutrition with him. And it made a big difference. And now he's still in the food business, and he loves it. And he never thought about his corporate business ever again, or corporate America ever again. He is technically in that corporate realm still in his own business, but he's more happy and more content of what he's doing, and he's not stressed out. And the key is being happy. You got to find happiness. We have one life. Just think about that. If you were to have all the money in the world, what would your passion be? For instance, if you were told that tomorrow that you were able to do whatever you wanted, and that you didn't have to think about it, and you were able to wake up in the morning and do that magical job that you always wanted to do. Even though you had all the money in the world, you still want to be busy doing something or volunteering doing something. What would that be? Think about that. What would that be? For me, is speaking to people and educating people about how to take care of themselves and to live a life stress-free, anxiety-free, and depression-free. It's not that easy, I know, with anxiety and depression, but able to cope with it and able to manage it so that you live a healthy life and that you're not always in that disease realm or in that mental realm, even though you may have those. I've dealt with social anxiety for pretty much my whole life, almost 40 years. And even performance anxiety is very difficult. I had a very hard time many years ago getting up on stage doing stand-up comedy and improv comedy and keynote speaking, because I would go blank, get super sweaty, and freak out and forget everything I was going to talk about. But thanks to Toastmasters and other groups like that I'm part of, it really helped me grow who I was, as well as really developed my public speaking, and I compete now in public speaking. And that's something that you want to think about. What would you do? Your passion. And that's the reason I'm talking to you today. I want to know what your passion is. Feel free to message me or comment or anything to find out what your passion is. And that's why I started this group as well behind me, is for performers to network together, to link together, collaborate, and grow each other's careers. Because then have a sounding board. Even if you're stressed out and you come to a group like, man, I'm super stressed today. I don't know what to do. I'm so tired. We're there for you. We're going to support you and be like, okay, here's what, take a deep breath, relax. Okay, think about a nice quiet place. Take a minute, breathe into your nose, out through your mouth, and readjust yourself. Put on some great music. Get away from your environment for a while. That's the key. Don't be in that environment. That our environmental wellness is so important. People that work as realtors or real estate agents, or people that stage houses or do interior design. I met a great person the other day that interior design, and talk about their environment. Find a space you can get away and relax, because you don't have to work 24/7. Even though you may need the money, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to work to provide for your family. And I know I'm talking a lot today, but I would love for you to meet with me, talk more about what you're doing and how I can help you, and also just talk about what's going on in your life. And join me at my meeting. If you're a performer, professional, of that sense that helps out performers, would love to talk to you. If you are a corporate person, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a person that's really struggling that needs some motivation and wants to get fit or stay fit, or always traveling on the go, I can help you with that. Regardless of what you do, just think, you really need to take care of yourself. Yourself is number one. And before I go, I just want to touch one point. I was at this awesome podcast event the weekend on Saturday called Podapalooza. It was a 10-hour event on Zoom. Imagine 10-hour event on Zoom. Talk about lack of movement, but he got up, moved around every so many minutes. The reason why I'm saying I met one person there named Saraz. He is a coach that is about transformation. And he learned that most illness is thinking that in your mind that you are responsible for someone else or you. And he does this whole training. If you want his information, I'll definitely share it with you because it's awesome. I'm actually going to look at it as well. The training is so important is that he was able to get rid of rheumatoid arthritis. He was able to help people get rid of fibromyalgia with this type of mindset. It was a mindset that was causing their body to be ill. That's the key. It's all about the mind. And the reason why I mentioned him is because it was so powerful. I can't wait to see his information and go on his website and look more about what he's doing and have him part of my wellness summits and other events that I'm working with and with my clients. But I greatly appreciate your time. But think, you're number one. Your job is your family, I would say, is number two. Your job is number three. But without you, you can't have either number two or three in the balance. And that's the goal. You really need to find time for yourself. And if you need a sounding board, be my guest, message in the chat. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And thank you so much for your time, everyone. I really appreciate you listening. And just think, life is for living. You got to live your life. Even though it may be rocky right now, there's always a way to do better. Sit down and make a list of what you need to do to get to the next level. Most professionals will tell you, look at the end point. Where do you want to be in life? And what does it take to get there? And this is not me making this up. These are other business professionals that do business coaching and that I've learned from that really, really, really know what they're talking about. And that's very smart. If you want something, you want to take the steps to get it. Very much like how you got your career going. You went to school, you had education, you went to a tech school, you became an architect or an electrician or a master chef. You had to go somewhere to learn and took those steps to get there. But I greatly appreciate your time. I'm Jason Crone here with Body Express Wellness Solutions and also my new group. Check it out, Performing Professionals Network. Hope to see you there next Monday at 3 o'clock and have a great fit day. Take care, be safe, and be well. Enjoy.